All right, what is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching this interview. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Phil. He's been a member of the Freedom Team. He's been crushing it lately, and so we wanted to come on and share his experience in this interview now. So, Phil, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't we go ahead and start to dive into your background a little bit? Kind of let me know how you got started into trading, when that was, and what really took you on to wanting to become a day trader.
Well, I've wanted to have my own business for a long time, and I looked at real estate and some other things, and I started to get more interested in the stock market. Um, I originally started trading on my own, which was probably a big mistake. Which I had looked to learn from more experienced traders earlier. But I'm doing that now, and I'm glad I found your program. And I've been learning a lot so far. I know I've got a lot more to learn, but I've been trying to just absorb as much information from your teaching and some of the other experienced traders in the room, and just try and get a little bit better each day.
Totally. Yeah. And so, what we trade is options and futures and stocks. So, did you ever start out trading penny stocks, or have you always been focused on options and futures?
I've always kind of been focused on options and futures. I've never really did penny stocks. First I was trying to learn about more stocks for long term, and then I started trying to learn, well, how can I make this, uh, how can I learn how to do this for income? So I've just tried to increase my knowledge wherever I can, and hopefully, I was able to trade on my own, leave my job for a little while. I probably just got lucky. The timing was probably good because I really didn't have a plan, and I'm learning how much that it's important to have A plus setups and good risk to reward, because as fast as you can make money, you can lose it that fast. So those are some very important ideas that I've come to learn.
Yeah, no, definitely. Trading only your A plus setups is definitely a huge thing that I like to preach. Because there are a lot of times where, you'll see a lot of like okay setups, but if you don't see something that's perfect, exactly what you're looking for, shouldn't be taking that trade. So yeah, that's an awesome teacher there. So cool. And how long have you been trading, by the way?
Um, about 4 or 5 years, but I would say most of that I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really know what an A plus setup was. I didn't know good risk versus reward. So I'm kind of learning that right now. And so, I mean, it's kind of been feast or famine these last 4 years. So with your program, I'm trying to eliminate those bad habits that I had, and uh, have something that can be ongoing for the long term.
Totally, 100%. And why don't we dive into your strategy a little bit, if you don't mind? So, why don't you talk about kind of the strategies or setups that you were doing when you first started, a few years ago, compared to what you're really focusing on now?
A few years ago, um, a lot of the time I was selling naked calls, which is kind of a pretty dangerous thing that I found out. And now I'm learning futures, and I'm learning spreads, and when is a good setup for those. It's like I'm not always looking for those, just if the good setup comes along, just to try and be able to take advantage when that happens. And when it's not there, I'm learning that if there are no setups there that day, then just don't trade that day. So that's a new thing for me, and I think that's progress for me.
Yeah, 100%. And you were trading, so you went from naked calls now you're doing more spreads. Are you doing that based off of supply and demand, or what kind of more technical strategy are you using at the moment?
I'm using supply and demand, and I'm using balance theory, and I'm just trying to learn when is the right time to enter, and when you need to wait for a better entry. So I know I have a lot to learn in those two areas, and I'm just hoping to get a little bit better each day at that, and just be more consistent, and not worry about um, just try and enter and exit, be consistently profitable, and not focus on getting rich quick overnight.
Right. That's one of the big things I preach is, it is like an 8 week mentorship, but really I want people to understand that it can take, months and months, sometimes years to really go full time with it and make it your full-time career. So that's totally, staying patient with it. That's totally the right attitude to have with it. All right, sorry about that, internet issues, but we are back now. So let me go ahead and finish what I was saying. So basically, when it comes to trading, there's a lot of emotions involved. And when you first started out, I know I was doing a lot of over trading. I was blowing up accounts. I had no risk management. I was getting very greedy with my trades. I was stopping out early. I was doing a lot of the wrong things. So why don't you talk a little bit about some of the emotions you had when you first started trading compared to how the Freedom Team has helped you kind of control those emotions?
Um, Definitely had a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out, chasing trades, not being patient for a good setup, and just watching you and watching some of the other traders just being patient for the right entry um, has been helping me a lot, helping me to wait for a good setup. And if I missed an entry, just there'll be another one coming either later in the day or maybe in the next day.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously with trading comes proper risk management. So, for you, I don't know, have you blown up any accounts in the past?
I have. Like I said, I was able to leave my job for a couple of years, but blew up the account, and got another job right now. But luckily, I can work from home, and it lets me trade as well. So um, hopefully, I can get to a point where I can trade full time. That's my definite goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna get you to that point. And one of the things when it comes to trading with a job as well is a lot of students actually, they have a 9 to 5 when they come inside, and a lot of their goals is to eventually quit, which is awesome. But a lot of people don't realize that they can actually trade while they have a 9 to 5. And like one of the strategies that I like to use is using OCO orders, using automation tools. So I only really trade in the first hour of the day. So have you been able to find that like, you've learned some tools that have been able to get you a lot of your time back or your freedom back?
Absolutely. I know that morning, that first hour is there's a lot of opportunity there, and I'm just trying to make the most of that. So if I can get a good trade, a good risk to reward, hopefully a good return, then I can, that's all that I need. I can stop trading for the day and come back tomorrow.
Totally. Yeah. And obviously the mentorship has a lot of pieces involved with it, right? There's like the course, the weekly calls, the one-on-one calls, the live trading. So is there anything, in that aspect or anything specific, maybe it was a specific question on the Q&A call or a specific trade you saw me take, anything that really kind of pushed you to that next level?
Uh, I like the live trading. I'm glad you offer that in your program, because I get to see how you think as price changes, and how you react to that. What are your thoughts? What direction that tells you want to go for trading that day. So I really love that about your course.
Awesome. And Yeah, another huge thing with trading as well comes confidence, right? If you don't have confidence in your setups, then you're going to struggle with following the trade and having the discipline there. So, do you think that, over the past few weeks being inside the mentorship, you've gained more confidence in your system?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just, the more you do something correctly, the more positive you get from it, the definite more my confidence goes up. So I would say, yeah, each week it's been going up. And as I understand, what makes an A+ setup versus like a C setup, it just keeps growing.
Totally, totally understand. And yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but if there are a lot of people here who are going to be watching this thinking, maybe they're a little skeptical on joining, it is a big program, there's a lot involved, but is there any, advice or anything you'd want to say to someone who's thinking about joining, but they might be a little hesitant?
There's no reason to hesitate. The quicker you join, the quicker you'll reach your goal. You don't have to, you don't have to risk a lot of funds. You don't have to have a huge account to start learning. The most important thing is that you learn, and that income will come with time. As long as you can learn how to consistently win your trades, then your goal for an increased income is, it's just a matter of time, and whatever your goal happens to be. The most important thing is to learn, and the sooner you start, the sooner you'll learn, and you'll get that consistency, and then you can increase your trade size.
Totally. Yeah, that is great advice. Well, yeah, Phil, thank you so much for coming on, doing this interview. I really appreciate it. I know you've been, doing really well in the Slack. I've seen you put some profits in there, and I'm looking to, forward to continue working with you, seeing you grow your account and become a full-time trader. So, Phil, thank you so much again. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I think that all covered it pretty well. I'm just glad that uh, I joined your program. I've learned a lot. I know I have still a lot more to learn, and I'm just happy I joined your program.
Awesome, Phil. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you in the Slack and have a good rest of your day, man.
All right, you too.